And welcome to Real Inside Sales Talk with Mark and Jason. This is episode 5. Thank you for downloading and listening today. Mark, how are you, my friend?
Episode 5.
Episode 5?
Here.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited,
Good.
but not just for sales.
Right, of course.
I heard the NWO is coming back to wrestling.
Really?
WWE has allowed Hulk Hogan
Where
to
have they
come
been?
back.
Where they? Hulk's been retired, hasn't he? I mean, he's...
Well, you know, he had that whole lawsuit which shut down that news company after that unprofessional video.
Oh, yeah.
Then he had that unfortunate language mishap. And
Really?
Then,
I haven't
WWE
kept up much with the Hulkster. Brother, tell me about it.
They deleted all my stuff, brother. Actually, that's Randy. That's Randy. Rip Randy. He died in a car
Randy
wreck.
did. Oh, man. So they're coming back.
NWO is coming back, and I'm excited. I feel like a 13-year-old boy again.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for you, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just like when Dragon Ball came back. I'm like, oh.
Isn't it the little things that make, just life great? Little things like that. Just little things.
Yeah.
You hear some kind of nostalgic from your youth. It comes back. I mean, that's why I like Star Wars, even though I had my issues with the whole Last Jedi thing. And
Patrick Stewart's coming back.
that's
Star
what
Trek.
I heard. Patrick Stewart's redoing Star Trek reboot.
But you have to pay for it on a subscription.
No way. Where?
Yeah, and that's what a lot of these sales companies are doing right now with subscriptions.
Right. Yeah.
They're jacking people by the automatic recharge every year.
Right.
And that's a big sales gimmick. And
Well, subscriptions are great. We have our own subscription. You can be a subscriber to our secret Facebook group, Real Inside Sales Talk. $5 a month. Just $5 a month, Mark. Less than what you pay for whatever latte piece of shit that you buy at whatever double latte piece of shit, half calf.
Yeah, and I mean, we know you're not going to cancel because if you were, you wouldn't subscribe in the first place.
Exactly. So there's no canceling. It's in perpetuity. That's
Yeah,
why
it's one of those things like breaking up before it happens. Like maybe in another life, we're gonna get together.
See, you get a great return on investment with this. You don't get a return on investment when you buy a latte. When you become a subscriber of our Facebook group, you get a return on that $5. It might generate 1 more sale, 2 more sales, 3 more sales, 10 more sales, a new script. We give you scripts. We role play. We coach. We help you when the going gets tough. When you're getting lots of no's, you can't break through. Give myself or Mark a post or a message, and we'll help you through it.
Yeah, we want to know what your challenges and goals are because, in turn, if we make you better, we get better.
Yes, and we love to get better.
Yeah, and everybody can be what they call an expert nowadays, but the difference between us and these quote-unquote bullshitter experts out there is we're actually in the trenches every day. We've been doing this for over 13, combined over 20 years. Me 13 at least. Oh, 30.
30.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I forget how old I am sometimes.
I know.
Yeah, sometimes I just feel like I just turned 21.
It just catches up with you. Because I feel the same way. I mean, even though I'm closer to 50 than I am 30, I feel like I'm probably 30 years old. I mean, I feel like you.
Tell the crowd how old you are, Jason.
I'm like, I'm old. I said I'm closer to 50.
There's no way. I don't even know your real age.
I am closer to 50 than I am 30. I'll tell you this, I'm closer to 50 than I am 40.
This is unscripted. I really don't know how old Jason is, but I'm gonna go with 34.
No.
34.
No, you're way off.
I know.
Way off. And only a couple people in the world know how old I actually am.
And you look good, you dress good, you have a positive attitude. You're only as old as you want to feel.
Exactly.
Age is just a number.
Exactly. Age is just a number.
And no matter what no matter what you believe, you are here once. So take a risk. Don't let that boss bully you around. Don't let managers tell you how bad you are and how you'll never be anything. It's time to take back control of your life and figure out.
Set a goal. Do something.
Yeah.
Do something.
What is your big why, too? Like, why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this? And Mark, before we get into your segment here real quick, I just want to let people know you can become a subscriber to our secret Facebook group, Real ISA Talk on Facebook. $5 a month gets you a half an hour. You sign up for a year, gets you half an hour one-on-one coaching with Mark and myself. You sign up become a subscriber for $10 a month. You get an hour of one-on-one coaching at one time with Mark and myself. So hit our page, like and share.
Yeah, anything that sells. If you're selling diamonds, I had this lady. She was looking for objections on spousal rebuttals for selling diamond rings.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you hook her up?
Oh
yeah.
Now once she gets her scripts down, it's game over for the rest of her territory.
Yeah. Well, that's what she's got to do.
That's another thing. Dress for success.
Dress for success.
Sometimes sometimes it's okay to be casual and be real.
Right.
Like me, I'm just going to be as real as possible. Yes, I like to look nice, but when I do look nice, that's how much more important it is to me.
Right.
So if I come to your door, if I come to your house, or if I come to offer you a product, and I believe in my product, I'm going to look nice.
Yeah. You have to fake it to make it. Even if you're working out of your house right now, get up, and that's an important point, especially if you're working out of your house, working for yourself. Get up and get into a professional dress. Don't just necessarily sit there in your jammies and start doing your calls, because that's going to lead into bad habits, bad mindset. You're not going to be very productive at all for that day. So get dressed like you're leaving for the office and you're going to be around 100 different people. So,
yes, and I got to touch on that. You know what some of the top salesmen in the world, what one of their best secrets is?
What's that?
Have mirrors all over their house, so they always know, like, what if it's game on or game off.
Right.
It helps them flip that switch.
Well, and you've got to be able to see yourself doing
and other
whatever.
points of view.
Well, and how often do you check your appearance? I mean, even just curtly before you go out for the day. Just a well crick in the mirror, I mean.
Nothing's worse than working all day and then coming home and looking in the mirror and being like, "Oh my God, I didn't look in the mirror."
That's how I looked all day.
Yeah.
So, Mark, first segment, what we want to get to, what do you want to talk about today?
Well, 7 great motivators when you feel like giving up. That's going to be one of the big things.
Let's hear it.
There's 7 big things, and there's going to be a summary on each one, and I'm not going to go too far into all of them because you'll get the idea. But number 1 is change your approach.
Okay.
Step out of your point of view and look at things objectively.
Right.
It will help you gain a new perspective.
Okay.
Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is not productive.
No.
That's actually the definition of insanity.
Exactly,
right?
It is.
When something isn't working out the way you'd like, look at an alternative way of accomplishing it. Ask others for input and ideas.
Feedback.
Yes, and it has a quote here.
Feedback.
The best way to have a good idea is to have a lot of ideas. That was by Linus Pauling.
Right, okay.
And number 2 is keep your enthusiasm.
Okay.
And that's really big on me because if I lose that, like me, I'm known as the guy that's really loud.
Right.
Like really nice, and I'm tolerable, but I'm really loud. And that's just who I am.
Exactly. And we love that about you, Mark.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
So what it says on keep your enthusiasm, don't lose the energy and spirit that you need to keep going.
No.
Start each day with a positive outlook.
Right.
Find the time to put fun back into your life. Be excited about the possibilities in your life.
Exactly.
And Winston Churchill said, success is going from failure to failure without a loss of enthusiasm. Right. And that's why I'm always preaching, be okay with increasing your failure rate.
Right.
Whether you're playing a video game, making a sale, rebuttaling. If you screw up, it's okay. You're going to do better next time.
Exactly. Well, and that's where you evaluate yourself, and that's the looking in the mirror part. Even if you're not physically looking in the mirror, if you're sitting there realizing, okay, on this last call I did this wrong, or I did this wrong, or I didn't catch this point, then that next call you're more prepared going in. I mean, you have to have preparation, especially when you're contacting, cold calls especially, or people that just walked into the store or just walked onto the car lot, or, you've got this great business idea that you're trying to get off the ground and you need to reach more people for it. And you might go through 25 people who are telling you, no, don't give up. Because the next one, you're going to find out your law of averages.
Yeah, it's all that pressure that you're getting. And you know what's made out of pressure?
What's that?
Diamonds.
Diamonds?
Diamonds are made out of pressure.
Yes.
And here's another one.
Diamonds.
Step away from the situation. Change your approach. Be still. Again, keep your enthusiasm. Use your imagination. Remember when you were a child and you thought you could be anything you wanted to be in the world? The possibility, yes, as a child, the possibilities were limitless,
right?
And you didn't let anyone interfere with your dreams.
No.
And, it's too bad that we become more logical as we become adults and let go of our imagination.
Right.
So starting right now, see yourself as someone accomplishing a big goal and imagine how your life will be.
Okay.
And Muhammad Ali said, the man who has no imagination has no wings. Let that sink in. The man who has no imagination has no wings.
That's a good one.
Rip Mr. Muhammad Ali.
Oh, yeah.
Again, another one, forecasting or write out your dreams and goals.
Mm-hmm.
And,
exactly.
For most of us, this one's really important. The final one, faith.
Right.
Faith is the greatest motivator of all times. Okay. Without it, you can get nowhere.
Right.
With it, you can turn your trails into triumphs.
Right.
It is easy to lose faith when you are faced with struggles, but having faith helps you to take that leap from defeated to determined.
Okay.
And a popular man named Vince Poscente, Poscent, said, walking your talk is a great way to motivate yourself.
Right.
No one likes to live a lie.
No.
Be honest with yourself, and if you find the motivation to do what you advise others to do, pursue it. And that's, one of the reasons I'm actually doing this show right now.
Right. I want to be modest and realize, hey, I've got to improve here. Everybody's always looking to improve, no matter where they are in their game. They're wanting to grow. The imagination that they talk about is essential to, one, being able to find new ideas, discover new opportunities, and secondly, your imagination allows you to see things that you normally didn't see, or try new things that you didn't normally try, or shake up your routine if you're starting to feel restless or bored or frustrated. Change your approach to doing things. Start a half an hour earlier with your lead generation, per se, or change the way you do your lead generation, randomize the calls a little bit more, or go backwards in the alphabet of your database, or reach out. Here's another thing to get you motivated too, is to reach out to your existing clients. Because one thing that you want to make sure that you do when you especially talk to new prospects is you leverage your existing clients. That way you can say, hey, Mark, call Bob over here.
Yeah, they've already done business with you.
He'll speak to my reputation. He'll speak to our product. He's used our product for, 25 years. Call Susie. She's been a client of ours for the last 10 years. That will close more deals for you than, just being able to just go cold call people. So make sure you have that established relationship. Use your clients, touch base with your clients, even if they haven't bought anything from you in, 6 months or something. I want to let you folks know how you can support the show. You can become a subscriber for $5 a month. You get access to our secret Facebook group, and you get a one-on-one coaching call with Mark and myself. Also, if you subscribe to us at $10 a month, you get a 1-hour one-time coaching call with Mark and myself. The great thing about being a subscriber is you have support, you have a coach, you have a cheerleader, you have people here who want to help you succeed in whatever it is you happen to be doing. We all need to have someone that's cheering us on to get to that finish line, because even though we might have the greatest, most positive mindset and have more confidence than anybody,
shit happens.
You still need somebody there saying, "Come on, man, let's go. Let's get through. Let's get up this hill.
Yeah.
Let's do those last 10 push-ups. Let's do that last mile walk. You can do it, man. You got to have somebody there clapping, and that's what we do for you. Nope, and that's what happens when you become a subscribing member to Real ISA Talk. You can find us Real ISA Talk on Facebook.com. Been getting a lot of likes and shares on the page. Mark, you're doing a great job getting those memes out there.
160 likes within the last 3 days.
I know, it's enjoyable, man. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome getting the appeal.
Yeah, and share it with your friends. We want to, let everyone know that this is a service not just to the real estate or timeshare or cars.
No, we're
talking anything you sell.
Right.
Watches, tennis shoes,
appliances,
beds.
Yeah, furniture salesman. We got to get a furniture sales guy because I'd love to hear some stories.
I have a great one.
Okay.
So I just dropped $3,000 on new furniture.
Oh, okay.
And I go, hey, are these the ones with the springs in the bottom? He goes, I'm not sure. So he bent the display model over, whipped out a big sharp-ass knife, cut the shit out of the bottom end of it, and goes, yeah, these are them.
No way!
And, I look at my wife, and they're like, so, is this what you want? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want.
So we literally went and signed paperwork, done. He sold me. I never thought he would put a display model on its back, cut the shit out of the bottom, and
destroy the display model.
Yeah, I was just like,
he must. I guess he was at the end of his rope with his frustration there all day. Probably had a lot of no's, and finally, okay, I know what I need to do now.
Or they have really good training. They replace the bottom of those multiple times a day, and we just don't know it. This guy was like Rambo. He was she pulled it out, just sliced the shit out of it. Pulled all the springs out, yep, this is what you're looking for.
Oh, dude, that is pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
I just got to see everything about this couch, and this guy just do something awesome.
He picked up on your one objection, and he answered it. He handled it
immediately. He didn't just answer it, he sold the shit out of it.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, dude.
I even left him a $50 tip. I was so impressed.
Really?
Yeah. Ashley Furniture, good shout out to you guys.
All right, so Mark, that's awesome. That's an awesome experience, dude. So what we want to, one thing I want to address here in our next little segment is I want to talk kind of about manners and behavior on those sales appointments out there, folks. Sometimes we forget, because
there's still a prospect.
Yeah, there's still a prospect, and sometimes we might be so desperate for to close that next sale, or we might be complacent about our product and just assume without really pitching them or addressing them or talking to them if they're already going to buy something.
Yeah, things are not the way that they appear. Like, for example, when I call canceled and expired listings on real estate every morning,
right.
They've been through pretty much everything but the actual closing of the sale.
Right.
So there's a reason it has to sell. Right. Are they fucking crazy?
Well, and not only that, but I've been on sales calls with this one guy who was kind of coaching me, and it didn't last very long. And here's why. Basically, went into the client. This is a long-term client of theirs. The company that we were working for, goes into the manager, hardly says hello to him or anything like that, hands him essentially an invoice, ticket, and says, okay, this is what you're ordering this month, right? Here, sign here. Hardly a, hey, how you doing? Hardly a handshake, just kind of like, here. Yeah. Is the check up front? Do I get it from them? Or
did he explain everything to you, or do I have to go beat him up?
Yeah, exactly. So, did I ever tell you about the time I got arrested for soliciting door-to-door?
No, but I want to know all about it.
Okay, and sorry for the digression, folks, but I was selling door-to-door way back long time ago.
What year was it? What century was it?
The 20th century, let's say, this is probably 89, 90, right around that, 89, 90.
89, 90.
Going door to door.
Damn, you are old.
Yeah, I am. I told you.
He doesn't look it.
I don't think you. Well, we're going door to door. I'm with this traveling sales group, going door to door, and we're in Chicago. Okay, Chicago, they've got a lot of neighborhoods that have restrictions on soliciting. No door to door soliciting. Okay.
They should have soliciting on no murder.
So we were like going in guerrilla style. I mean, the sales crew I was with, they just like drop you off like in the back alley of the subdivision. They'd say, "No, just go through that yard, and then you're good. You're golden. Meet back here, at 5 o'clock." And you prospect the whole neighborhood all day. So I was knocking on the doors. This one guy answered. He sounded kind of interested. I gave him my whole spiel, and it actually said, "Hey, let me clean the windows on your car." Well, got into a little trouble because the rag I had was starting to leave smudges. And he's like, "I don't even do that. I use vinegar and water and newspaper." And I said, "Well, okay, that's good."
Newspaper has ink, so you think it would run.
That's what I was saying. Well, that newspaper's going to leave that residue over time, and it's that's the buildup I'm getting off here. And then he says,
"He's the cartoons asshole."
So yeah, so he's talking to me. All right, I'm going through the pitch and everything like that, and he says, "So you're selling this cleaner door to door?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I have a solicitor's permit and everything." And he pulls out a badge out of his pocket and says, "Well, I'm retired, Chicago police officer, and it's illegal in this subdivision to solicit door to door." And he he says, "Stay right here." And I'm scared shitless. He's like, "Oh God, I'm going to get arrested. I'm going to get arrested." And I was thinking about running, but then it was like, I don't,
Like run from a cop.
Yeah, I was like, I'd run from a cop, and then I'm like, I don't know really where I am.
Get more trouble.
I'm in like 3 blocks here in this neighborhood, and their ride's not coming back to like 5. And so, here, next thing I know, police cruiser pulls up. They freaking, put me up against the car. Yep, cuff me and everything. Now, here's the kicker. The cool thing about it. This was in a little suburb around Chicago. Like Michael Jordan lived within a couple of miles of where we were. The Barrington Hills area was kind of where we were. The nicest police station I've ever been in. Really? I felt like Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop. Because the police station, was carpeted, super air conditioned. There wasn't even a jail. It wasn't even a cell there or anything. They just had me sit in a chair.
Like a DMV.
Yeah, kind of like that. They didn't even cuff me or anything. I know it was solicitation, but the other thing that sucked about it is for some reason either their system or somebody typed in the wrong number for my license or whatever. It took them like a half an hour to run my license and verify who I was. So I was sitting there and I was arrested, and they gave me a ticket, and I had to call my boss and say, "Look, I'm down here at it was like Lake, what lake? Something Village."
Caught in the panty wagon.
Yeah,
paddy wagon.
So I got arrested. Totally got arrested. Had to pay like $150. I didn't pay them. Boss did. Paid like $150 fine.
He's like, "Well, I can't get mad. He's doing his job."
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and they knew that was a risk because a couple of the others, they'd always joked about it, but I never took them serious.
I've never been arrested at all in my life.
Never been arrested selling. Folks, if you haven't been arrested, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right.
Should we make this a bonus episode?
Yeah, we might do that at some point. But no, that's just some of the risks you take, depending on the type of job that you're in. Door to door. It's just like realtors. You know, they have to be careful because they're going to a lot of
Door
strange houses.
knocking, yeah.
Exactly. Anybody you give your information to, as you get to know, as a client, you get to know.
Like, there's that one guy, like, you knock on his door and he's like, hey, man, you know, hey, I'm not selling, but you see that guy across the street, he's telling you.
You know what I would do to mess with friends? If I met, like, an Amway salesman,
what?
I'd send it to one of my friends. I'd tell him, oh, yeah, he would really be interested in this. He had actually asked me the other day, how can I get into Amway? And so you're like, hey, you call your buddy up and it's like, hey, I met this guy, you know, I'll go set him over. And you set him up for like a 3-hour Amway pitch.
You're wrong. I bet wow. How many friends do you have left?
I know, exactly. That's why I don't have friends. No, that was.
I would love it. I'd probably find a way to entertain it.
Oh yeah.
I'd be like, we're gonna get him back.
Yeah.
Like, I know we just met, but we just became best friends.
Yeah.
So let's get his ass back.
Yeah. Anytime you meet a multi-level marketer person, and you want to mess with somebody, send a multi-level marketer person to your friend. So tell them you got to meet this guy.
Don't write their name on the bathroom stall of your favorite pub.
Yeah, don't do that.
Call for a good time.
When we're on a sales appointment, is going to mirror and match our prospects' behavior. You know, if they're kind of quiet, subdued, you're not over the top in their face, you know, with a bunch of sales jargon. If they are kind of exuberant, you know, extroverted type of people, then yeah, you want to be the same kind of way.
Yeah.
You know, you find the commonality. You find out what their hobbies are.
If they're folding their arms, you're folding your arms.
You're
crossing their legs, you're crossing the legs.
Exactly.
You know, if you're like, hey, what's up? You're like, hey, what's
up? I know. If you're bros and want to do the hug, then you got to do the hug, you know. I mean, so the other thing I want to touch on, Mark, and this is incredibly important, okay? This, to me, we're talking about respect here, okay? So people, I hope you're still with us. Again, thank you for downloading and listening to what Real Inside Sales Talk with Mark and Jason. This is episode 5. We're talking about some manners and behaviors, good and bad, on sales appointments. And one thing that, as we were talking about with respect, we want you to value the relationship, Mark, because when you value the relationship, you're not looking at it as just the short term, hey, here, sign here, you know, we'll send you out those 100 widgets next week, you know, give us our check, thank you very much, bye, bye, bye.
These are people that you're going to talk to until the day you die.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they die.
Yeah. You may see, depending on the culture of the area that you're around and the sales that you're in, you might see these people at the grocery store. You know, you might see these people, you know, at the ball game. You know, you might run across these people in some other line of, you might meet somebody who's you're working with. If you know a plumber, and you find out somebody who's got a plumbing leak, you're going to refer them to the plumber. You're going to value those relationships. You got somebody that's,
a transmission guy in a car.
Right.
I've got a guy named Raymond. He's the best.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
And I know he's the best because I've used him, and I know he's more than fair.
I mean, that's just it. Everybody's got a car guy. Everybody's got an electrician guy. Everybody's got a plumber guy. I mean, you have these
concrete.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is you have to value that relationship with that person, because not only will it provide you more sales going down the road, it will allow you to, for you to have those opportunities you normally wouldn't get across, because what are those open doors for you? Because maybe that client, you know, in 6 or months or a year from now is connected in a big way and can give you even more business. Let's say, that the client, provides you with a breakthrough as far as being able to break down objection barriers, or is able to provide you with the opportunity and the incentive you didn't ordinarily have. Leads. They always have leads. Always ask for business.
Yeah, call your sphere of influence and your past clients.
Right.
Call your the people that you sold to 2 years ago. Always stay in touch with them, but every 6 months anyway. But like, hey, are you sick of this house yet? You want to go do something else?
Exactly. Listen to it and understand their needs.
Yeah.
I mean, some businesses are cyclical, or they're seasonal. Where, like the business that I work for, one of their big sales reps, I was talking to him, and he was saying, the owners, they're very wise, they're frugal, and he says also, I don't try to sell them stuff I know that they don't want, because I already know they know what they want. So I just try to make sure that they have exactly how much of it that they want, that I'm not unloading too much on them. They don't have a bunch of excess of it just sitting around doing nothing for them. It really gets their dollars to work, and that's, again, understanding your client and their needs. And that's what this salesman is easily able to do.
Yeah, you don't want a client that feels guilt-tripped or regretting their decision to buy, either out of desperation or just because of the fact that they want it. If I go to buy a product and I feel bad about buying it, there's a high chance I might consider returning it.
Exactly.
But if I'm sold on the product for what it is, for example, I was reading this thing on the internet today, and it says, write down everything that take a picture and write down everything that you buy.
Right.
And then reflect on it. What made you buy that product? Was it the wording? Was it the logo? Was it the music in the background?
Exactly.
Was it the price?
Price.
You know, what about this product made
the
value?
Yeah.
What about this product made you click on this link to go to this place, create a profile, validate your email address,
give them your credit card,
and get a confirmation? Like, you just took a good 20 minutes out of your day.
Time. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So you got to make sure, like, you look back and you reflect on what sold you.
Yep.
If you put those same things towards your customers, your business will grow.
It will, exactly. And that's what we want. We want to close on this note here today, folks, is not only belief in your product that you're selling.
Yes.
Please have a belief in it. Have a belief in what you're doing. Is to believe in yourself. Because if you believe in yourself to be able to do it, you're going to be able to accomplish it. Because remember the last episode or episode before last, we talked about how motivation gets you excited, you know, and habit gets you going, you know, keeps you going.
And if you're afraid, you need to practice or you're not really committed. You know, I can't tell you how many times where I found myself intimidated by people who I thought were better salesmen than me. But
they're really not.
I realized they weren't.
No.
And it's, you know, it wasn't that they weren't bad people or good people, you know, however you want to look at it, but it's just the fact that once I trained and I practiced enough, I didn't have to worry about me not being better than them. I already knew I was.
And you could tell they believed in themselves.
And the numbers show.
Yeah, and that's just it. When you believe in yourself, it ripples throughout the rest of your life and the rest of your character.
If you're afraid to pick up the phone tomorrow when you go into work, or if you're afraid to walk up to your next prospect and you think you're having an anxiety attack, you need to really man up, woman up, and you just need to swallow your pride and go out there and just be okay with being yourself and be okay with increasing your failure rate.
You can do it.
You can do it. And if it's going to happen, you're going to find a way to make it happen.
That you are. Is believe in yourself. Every person you talk to. Because, again, like you also mentioned about the bum. You know, standing there, yeah, he's going to get a lot of rejection and a lot of embarrassment and humiliation, but I guess there's a good payday at the end of it. Because why would you put yourself in that situation?
Why would that person, that panhandler, continue panhandling every day if it didn't work?
If it didn't work, exactly. I mean, you can be comfortable in your own misery. So how much misery do you want to be comfortable in before you start doing something about getting the dreams that you want to accomplish, getting your goals accomplished that you want to get accomplished? Each day, make it a new, interesting, fun one. Always go in with a sense of enthusiasm, sense of purpose. Use your imagination to drive what you do each day. And that's what we help you do when you become a supporting listener at Real ISA Talk at Facebook.com. And what you're going to find out for $5 a month, you become a subscriber for a year and you get a one-time half-hour one-on-one coaching call with Mark and myself. Subscribe at $10 a month for a year. You get an hour coaching call with Mark and myself. We want to help you accomplish your goals. And that's what we're here to do, because you have to start with that belief in yourself, getting motivated, talking through it's again, looking in the mirror. Look in the mirror, everything you do. Look in the mirror, evaluate, retool, go at it again. Evaluate, retool, go at it again.
Yeah, be fearless. Remember, as a kid, how nothing seemed impossible.
Right.
Well, get that mentality back. It's time for you to tighten that belt, brush your shoulders off, you know, start taking life serious.
Well, exactly, and write down those goals. Visualize your success.
Where do you see yourself 3 months from now, and how
6 months from now, 9 months,
a year? But you know, make sure you reevaluate yourself every 2 weeks, because if what you're doing is not working, you need to change your process. You need to make sure that you're open to being trainable. You need to be comfortable with spending an hour, maybe 2 hours a day outside of work, researching ways to get better at work.
Exactly, do that.
It's not just going to come to you through work, but it's going to take, you know, if you just committed 4 weekends a year just to training for 3 hours, imagine how much better you would be.
Well, even if you started 5-10 minutes a day, just retooling yourself 5 minutes a day. So I got to start with believe in yourself, folks. Look, this has been Real Inside Sales Talk with Mark and Jason, episode 5. Thank you so much for downloading. You can find us at all the podcast hangouts, iTunes, Stitcher, Facebook, Real ISA Talk. Mark?
Thank you again for listening to episode 5 of Real Inside Sales Talk with Mark and Jason. Look for this on YouTube as well. And if there's something that you want us to talk about, let us know. We want to talk about it. Here soon, we're going to have guests popping up on the show. We're working on getting all the details worked out. You're going to love it. Everything from selling martial arts to managing a call center of 1,000 people, customer service, sales, from selling concrete, selling tattoos, how to become the number one tattoo guy in the area.
Like and share us on Facebook. Again, ask us questions. Give us
buying and
feedback.
investing, wholesaling houses and other properties, land. You just stay tuned. We're going to cover it. You just let us know. And thanks for choosing ISA Talk on Facebook.
Thank you, folks. Have a good night.
Bye.